Hey everyone, hope your day is going well. We are back with another reaction. We're gonna watch another clip of a George Harrison interview. Of course, I've been on a Beatles binge on Patreon, going through all their albums one by one and song by song and diving deep, and also watching documentaries, reading books, and kind of trying to learn more about not only their music but about the people and the members and everything that happened and the time, and also go checking out some music of their solo careers afterwards, and really been fascinated by all of them, really, and especially George Harrison, a man with profound insights. And I want to check out this interview speaking on Lennon music and Time Bandits. That's the Terry Gilliam movie. I've never seen it, even though fantasy is one of my favorite genres. I've never seen it. I know Sean Connery's in it. So did he work on that movie or made a song for it, perhaps? Interesting. And Lennon, this is 1981. So after uh, he, passed away, is such a weird word to say when somebody's brutally murdered, of course. But yeah, let's check it out.
Almost everybody, I think, knows that George Harrison was one of the Beatles. But a lot of people don't know that George Harrison is an experienced movie producer as well. A few years ago, he produced a Monty Python movie called The Life of Brian.
What? And there he was producer on that? I mean, I always thought, I thought like they were fans of Monty Python. And maybe, I don't know, did they inspire Monty Python? Because I've checked out that Shakespeare clip, and their humor and their movies have that vibe to it, right? And that was before Monty Python was a thing, right? Because they started like, what, 69? Something, 68 maybe? And that, like those, some of the movies, and the Shakespeare bit came like before, right? 64, 65. I wonder how that is all intertwined. Oh, interesting. Oh, you see, I'm learning right now.
He's got a new movie coming out. A little bit later, we're going to talk with George Harrison about that, live by satellite from London. He's with us. George, good morning, or good afternoon, I guess, over there.
Good morning, America. Good morning,
this
David.
Is before
nice
Zoom.
to have you with us, George. Good to have you with us, and we'll look forward to talking with you in just a little while.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right now, live, we are going to someone who represents a slightly different kind of music, at least in our memory. And we're going live by satellite to London at 17 before 9. The man I'm talking about is George Harrison. He is a man of so many talents, a former Beatle, as you all know. He's a fine musician, composer, writer, and in recent years, he has also become a movie producer of some note.
I had no idea about
He also lives a rather private life now. He rarely grants interviews, and this morning we're delighted to have George Harrison with us from London Live. George, it's a pleasure meeting you, and it's nice to have you with us.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Could you hear any of that music, that picking you just heard? How did it sound?
I did. Yeah, Blue Ridge Mountains. It sounded like you were interviewing pigs. Is that right?
You're close.
Something about pigs.
You got it. George, let's talk about the movie Time Bandits, which I had the pleasure of seeing yesterday. It hasn't been released yet, as you know. It's going to be released very soon in the States. You wrote the score. You also produced it. How would you describe it briefly? How would you describe the movie? Because it is unusual.
Yeah, that's it. It's quite unusual. I think it's
a Terry Gilliam movie. I mean, that's all you have to say.
It's a sort of good film for children, mainly, but it's also quite good for adults. It's a bit...
Doesn't this song have a sequel or even two? Isn't it part of a trilogy? The song, I mean, his movie. Did I say song? Yeah. I know. I mean, I know a lot of movies by title and stuff just by learning more about filmographies of directors and writers and actors that I love, but I haven't seen all of them, of course. Yeah, is it worth checking out?
Crazy, being a spin-off of the Monty Python group. That is, it was written by Michael Palin and Terry Gilliam.
Okay.
It has Michael Palin and John Cleese in it. So it has a little bit of, the usual sort of Monty Python sort of stuff, but at the same time, it's quite a thriller, the way it looks. The film is really well shot. It's Terry Gilliam is the director. He's the American one in Monty Python. And he's the one who normally does the animation. So he's done the special effects and directed the film.
George, let me interrupt you. What I might do is we might show our viewers here a little bit of the movie so they'll have an idea what you're talking about.
That's a good idea.
What we're about to see are the traveling bandits. Now, these are bandits. They go from one place in time to another by sort of dropping through these holes in space, right?
Yeah,
I mean, the premise sounds interesting. You know, it's not like anything I haven't read or before. You know, of course, there's many sci-fi and fantasy adventures that do this, but I never get enough of it. You know.
Well, if I would just tell the audience briefly, the idea is that the Supreme Being, when he was making creation, well, everything that got done late on a Friday afternoon, you know, had a few holes in it. So he had these little people working down in the small shrubs department, and they were patching up the holes in everything. And they ran away with the map that shows all the holes in the space and time, and they're trying to escape from the Supreme Being, but at the same time, evil, who's always not far behind, is trying to catch them because he'd like the map for his own use. So take it away.
All right, good description. Now let's look. The little people and what they have.
He's definitely a producer. He sold it right there, even though the movie is 45 years old or something right now. But yeah, he sold it. Really cool. He's promoting it to me right now from the past. I love that spin. Like, you know, there's always the story structures that we know and love, and tropes and time travel. And you put all the ingredients of things you love as a writer and you put them in one story that you kind of enjoy, and then you just hope that other people will enjoy it as well. At least that's how I do a lot of things. When I write stuff, I just put all the stuff in I love, and then I hope other people do it too.
And what they have done is busted into a little boy's bedroom, and now they're trying to find a way out. They need to get their way out and get back into space. Watch this from Time Bandits, produced by George Harrison. Watch. Now, they didn't, George, we just saw them you weren't able to see it, but just as they came, they went into space.
They cut that out for copyright on
people
YouTube,
should know that they land in Napoleon's time. Napoleon's time. Right?
Yeah, they just keep going, you know, from one thing into the next. It's quite a good idea, actually. Wish I'd thought of it.
Yeah, but you're involved. You've made it happen. We're going to break for a commercial, George, and then we'll come back and talk some more. 10 minutes before 9 right now. We're back with George Harrison live from London. The music you just heard is from his newest album. It's called Somewhere in England. Hi, George. Again, we're back on live right now. You've been involved with the Monty Python, the group, the gang, for quite some time now. You said one time that you got involved after the Beatles because it helped you to kind of bridge the years when there wasn't much happening. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, in the late 60s, when Monty Python first came on television in the UK, well, there was, you know, what the Beatles were representing or were trying to, you know, we were trying to be something new. We're trying to, you know, give some alternatives, and likewise in the comedy situation, everything was pretty boring, I thought. It was pretty much the same for years and years, and then Python came along with this totally off-the-wall type of humor, and you know, they were sort of laughing about most of the things which should be laughed about, I think. You know, the government and just the way we all are. I mean, the usual things. Yeah. And they didn't really leave much unturned, many stones unturned, really, in the humor. And it just filled in that period, you know, between, like, going into the 70s. It got a bit depressing, I think, after the 60s. And it's good to have a laugh, you know. It's good if there is something to keep you smiling.
George, I would imagine there's, at least I sense, that there's always been kind of a pressure on you and Paul and Ringo to keep producing, to keep turning things out, and particularly perhaps you and Paul. How has that pressure affected you over the last, say, 10 years?
Well, I don't think there's that much pressure to produce. I think you're talking about records or music. There's not too much pressure in order to do that, but at the same time, it's what we do, it's what we have done in the past, and you know, everybody needs to make a living or do something just to keep themselves busy, and so might as well continue doing the thing that we learned. You know, we sort of did our apprenticeship. The thing that's I think the pressure is coming now from the other way, because the record business as a whole, it's, you know, everybody's in the record business, everybody and their grannies, you know, they're all songwriters. Everybody has million-dollar record deals, to the point where the record business is so saturated that a sort of rot set in, actually, with the radio, and nobody knows what people want, or some people think they know what the public want, so it's got this great confusion. So I think the most difficult thing is just to try and continue and try to do what comes natural, and hope that somehow it still fits into the picture.
George, you wrote a beautiful...
That's an interesting point of view, and maybe he's not necessarily it's saturated in terms of music, but also in terms of maybe gatekeepers, maybe, and you know, now that is gone, which, you know, can be good for some things and bad for others. But I would love to know what his take would be on that type of thing of today, because he definitely had great insights, and he also didn't pull any punches when it came to sharing his opinion. Like he said about comedy before Monty Python, it was like, oh, it got stale and there was nothing innovating anymore, and it kind of get boring, right? And now they're coming around and laughing with the government, laughing, you know, and he wrote songs like social commentary songs, right? Like Piggies and stuff and other things to really his views on the world, and just like Taxman, for example, and, you know, just really not pulling any punches and leaving no stone unturned. And that is what Monty Python did, being innovators on that front, on comedy, which is really cool. And he tells it like it is, or how he sees it, which is, I respect that always. Yeah,
beautiful song after John Lennon died all those years ago, and one of the couplets in it, you wrote, "Living with good and bad, I always looked up to you," unquote. How did John influence you, and how did you influence him, do you think, through the years?
Well, it would be pretty hard to say just in a minute or so, but, you know, we grew up together. We, from the age of maybe I was about 13 when I first met him. He was a tough guy, you know, he wanted to do something different, and likewise so did I and Paul. And so we gained strength from each other, really, like that. He was always the noisy one, or the, you know, the cheeky one, the pushy one. He'd be a bit more outspoken than the others. And at the same time, I think that was important. You know, we had all those elements, John being, you know, a bit upmarket with the intellectuals, and Paul being cute, and, you know, Ringo being cuddly, and I was the quiet one. So I mean, it all sort of worked out. But, you know, it would be difficult to say. Hello, what was that? Beep beep.
I don't know. You're okay, I think.
Something beeping in my headphone. But it would be hard to say just in a minute, you know, because we grew up together. We spent many years together, and
but a lot of love and respect.
Yeah.
Both.
So, I mean, the song really, it helps having music. Hello, somebody's on the telephone here in my ear.
Whoever's in George's ear, get out of George's ear. All right, George, our time is up anyway, so we'll let them talk in your ear if they want to. Thank you very much for joining us today. Good luck with the movie. Good luck with Time Bandits.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, George.
Okay,
technology,
thank you.
Huh? If it doesn't work, it can really interrupt a moment that, you know, you never know what he was going to say because it was just getting interesting. That's a tough thing with TV and these short interviews, and mixing some technology. But yeah, you know, and a lot of people ask him about, you know, this relationship or how did he influence you. We see him as band members, you know, and then you think about, oh, they met when they were 13 years old. These are friends, right? And it's impossible to really explain how much you mean to each other because you meet each other at a time before this all happened, and, you know, you never know what you're going to achieve together, and how life is going to turn out and how it's going to end up. And, you know, that thinking about losing a friend this way, yeah, it's devastating. devastating. Even though if you have disagreements over the years, you never know what might have happened, what would have been possible, or just just being friends, because you are childhood friends and you grew up together. That's a bond that we all know. We have friends like that, so to have that happen to them, it's heartbreaking. Yeah, interesting. I might need to watch Time Bandits, huh? Have you seen it? Let me know if it's any good. Hope to see you in another video. Have a great day. Goodbye.